Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Dr. T, aka Bookworm MD, and this is my YouTube channel. But if you don't know me, you also probably don't know that my name is Julia. And this is a slightly different type of video on this channel because I am engaged. I just got engaged and I'm so excited to share this chapter of my life with you guys. So this video is going to be slightly different than most of the other videos that I do on this channel that are about the hospital and working as a doctor in New York City or productivity. But I really hope that, you have interest and you want to join me on this journey too, because I'm so excited to share it. I'm also planning to do a bit of like a wedding series, stuff like planning for my wedding, and I think that falls in line with productivity. So if you're interested in stuff like that, please feel free to stick around. I'm really excited, and it's just going to be such a fun chapter of life that I can't wait to document and share with YouTube. So anyways, I'm engaged. Look, I got engaged. Oh my gosh. My fiance and I got engaged on our 1-year anniversary. And it was in Dumbo, Brooklyn, and it was beautiful. So let me backtrack though and share a little bit of the story, okay? So my fiance and I really started dating towards the very beginning of my 2nd year of residency. And, we were super intentional about it. We had our first date at Swingers Mini Golf, and which is in Nomad, and it was so much fun. And I just knew, I wrote in my journal about him, and I wrote something's different about this guy. And we continued to have dates. We had multiple dates within the first couple of weeks of knowing each other because of my schedule. I was on call for certain weekends, and he was like, oh, I would really love to, maximize the amount of time I can see you. And the thing that made him really special to me too was that he was like, I know that you're a doctor and I know that you're in the medical field and you're in residency, and I'm willing to do anything I can to make that work, schedule wise, and to be as available as possible as long as you're giving me the energy and the effort back. And I think that set the tone for our entire relationship. And we quickly became, official, and we started dating and we met each other's families, and it has been the most dream relationship I have ever imagined. I always wanted to be with somebody whose parents would accept me and I could have a good relationship with my, in-laws and extended family. And I think that is something I do have with his family, which is so, so, so amazing and exciting. And then I also wanted somebody that my parents would get along with and would really enjoy, and that our parents would get along with each other. I am really excited that they clicked so well and our families get along, and it's amazing. So let me tell you about our kind of relationship and engagement. When I started dating in the beginning of my 2nd year and met my now fiance, I wasn't playing any games and neither was he. I went in there and I remember he had asked me, what is it that you want? What are you looking for? And I was like, at the risk of you running away, I'm looking for a long-term relationship and I want to get married. And thankfully, he didn't run away. He was open to that idea. He was also looking for his partner to settle down with. So one thing that came up early on in our relationship was that my fiance really wanted to live with his partner. And I felt strongly that I didn't want to live with anybody unless I was engaged to them. And so I expressed to him, I don't really feel that I want to live with somebody unless I'm engaged. And he respected that. And of course, it wasn't something to push him into proposing, but it was something that he and I were on the same page that we weren't going to progress to that next step of living together without also being engaged as well. So we started talking about marriage kind of relatively on maybe around the 6-month mark of us dating. We talked about getting engaged, and we talked about kind of what we wanted for that, or what it would look like, I guess, to get engaged and what that meant to either one of us. And then around July of 3rd year of residency, so the beginning of my 3rd year, I started applying for jobs, and I'd had a serious heart-to-heart with him. And I basically said, hey, I really need to know kind of what our intentions are and where we are in this relationship, because I have a lot of opportunity to potentially leave New York and leave the tri-state area. And that's something I've always been interested in doing. There's opportunity as far as jobs go for doctors. There's opportunity as far as, salary and living in a place that doesn't have any state income tax. Those were all things that were kind of in the back of my mind and have been in the back of my mind for a long time. But obviously I'm seeing this person who at the time was my boyfriend, and I knew that he had an interest in staying in the tri-state area for his job and his career prowess. And so I wanted to be respectful of that. Basically, I was saying, if if we want to continue this relationship and you want me to continue looking for jobs here in the tri-state area so we can stay close and have this relationship and nurture it, then I want to know that it's a priority to you as much as it is to me. So we had the discussion that we wanted to get engaged, that was coming up. And obviously I didn't know when it was coming, but we agreed that we were on that level essentially. And so I started applying for jobs in like New York and New Jersey, and eventually I had a job interview in New York. I had to drive there because it's in a more suburban area. And so he let me use his car, and I drove his car and I went to the job interview. I had a great experience. And then I came back and he told me, okay, let's go grab some dinner. Like, let's go grab some sushi. I met up with him at his apartment, dropped off the car. We ended up Ubering to go grab the sushi. But when we got out of the Uber, we weren't at a sushi place. Instead, we were actually outside of a jewelry store. And I was like, there's no sushi place here. And I was kind of confused. And then that's when he told me that he had received a blessing from both of my parents to basically ask me to marry him. And that he wanted to go into the store to look at rings together and see kind of what I liked. And oh my goodness, I was freaking out. I was like, are you kidding me? He told me this information like 5 minutes before we had to go inside to the appointment. He made an appointment to go look at rings. And I was so excited, but I was so like shocked at the same time. We went to W Kodak in Hoboken. And oh my God, I would so recommend, if you go there, you should definitely talk to Maria. It was a beautiful experience. They offered us champagne. We were looking at rings. It didn't feel rushed. I was able to kind of like see the things that I was interested in. And we ended up making a wish list of about 5 different settings for the ring. And then I was torn between an oval shape and a circular shape. So I tried a little bit of both. And I told him afterward that I wanted to look at maybe like one more store to, not like pigeonhole ourselves into one place. And so a few days later, we went to the Diamond District in New York. And oh my God, I hated that experience. We were there and it was just like so many people like dying to make a sale, and like it wasn't romantic. It didn't give me the feeling of ease, and I didn't have an interest to like spend my time and spend my money or not my money, but spend my time and give business to a place that didn't make me feel good. So we ended up going back to W Kodak so I could compare ovals versus circles. And ultimately, I determined that I really liked the circular shape, as we can see. So after that, he said to me, okay, are you comfortable with me taking the reins on this now? And I was like, but yes. And that's it. We didn't have any further discussion about it. Nothing. For like a month and a half. Our anniversary was coming up. And he had told me that he wanted to plan our anniversary. And I honestly didn't think too much of it. Like I thought maybe that means that we're going to get engaged. But I was like, I don't know, because a lot of people say that a year is kind of soon. Then again, I feel like when you know, you know. And my fiance definitely knew what he wanted. And I certainly did too. And so I was like, okay, maybe. But at the same time, he and I had talked about how I told him I would really, really love if he planned a date. So it was all around the same time. And when he said that he wanted to plan our anniversary, I was like, okay, I guess that makes sense. So I just said, okay, but you have to tell me what to wear. Granted, our anniversary fell on a Wednesday. And so, of course, like when you think you're getting engaged, you most likely don't expect to get engaged on a Wednesday. Additionally, our anniversary was on a day that I was working all day at the clinic. So he told me that he had made a reservation for us for like 6:30 or something like that in the afternoon. And I was getting out of work around 5. And a lot of times I get out of work late. So it wasn't like I was going to be able to like get out of work, go home and get ready for our date. I had to literally bring a duffel bag with me to the hospital and get ready in one of the patient like exam rooms at the hospital. So I'm like, why would I think that I'm getting engaged on a day that I can't even like go home, do my hair, do my makeup? Like I'm doing it in the most unorthodox place. Oh my God. I have so many times in my life where I've just like gone to work with a duffel bag and went in looking professional and left looking like, going to the club, going to dinner, partying. So I was like, okay, this is pretty much like consistent with that, but I didn't expect that I would be getting engaged that day. Granted, I woke up that morning and I felt like, I think today is the day. And I even recorded a little snippet of myself basically thinking about the possibility that today was the day. So I'll insert that clip here. I'm not sure if this video is ever going to see the light of day. It's about 7 a.m. on September 18th. And I can't even say it. I think today might be the day that I get engaged. It's probably not. And if it's not, then this video is not going anywhere. Basically, today is our 1-year anniversary of dating, and we are gonna go and celebrate after work today. He told me that he wanted to plan the entire date. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know where we're going. And the other part is that I'm going to work because I'm working in the clinic. So I'm working from 9 to 5, and then we have to get to our destination by 6. That means I have to get ready at the hospital. Obviously, if I am getting engaged, I want to be as pretty as I can be, right? So last night I used this mask, this like Biodance, the viral Korean mask. I think it was pretty good. It was, I was trying to sleep with it overnight, but it was kind of hard to sleep with. So I had it on until like, I think 3 a.m. My skin is very hydrated. Like it's shiny right now. He bought a new suit. And he told me, oh yeah, like I don't want you to see my new suit until I wear it in person, because he likes, showing off like the outfit. So that was the first piece, that he's got this like special outfit that he wants to wear. Then, he chose where we're going, and he's like, oh, I'm not going to tell you, it's a surprise. He took me to go and look at rings to see like what sort of rings I like, what sort of styles I like. So he took me to the ring store and we looked at rings, but that was like a month ago. And then ever since then, he will just like kind of drop little hints and say like, oh yeah, I've been telling like some of my friends about the things that I'm planning, and like about the plans that I have for us, like for our engagement. And he'll say things like, I can't wait to marry you, I can't wait to be engaged to you. And like basically every time I talk to him, he gives me an unprompted statement about getting engaged. And it's like frustrating because I'm like, dude, can you please like either tell me or do it? He had asked me, do you want to go on an engagement moon? And I was like, oh, I've never thought about it. But we are going on vacation immediately after this week. And part of our vacation is that we're going to end it by going to visit his family in South Carolina. So I'm like, dude, senor, are you telling me that this is going to be an engagement mood? But then again, like it is September. It's September 18th. And we only went to go look at rings for the first time in August. So I don't know how long it takes to get a ring. It's like we've been together for 1 year, and he's been talking about it since like so like much earlier on in our relationship. I would say at least around like the 8 or 9 month mark. And now it's like, is it actually gonna happen? And am I shitting my pants? I'm getting really nervous. But I don't want to get too excited, because what if it's not? It could be coming. It could be another time. Maybe it'll be around like the holidays, Christmas. Maybe he literally just wants to throw me off completely. Oh my God. What if I'm like so wrong? What if I'm completely just like bamboozled? So I'm not expecting it, but at the same time, I've done all these things. I got my nails done. Oh my God, I got my nails done. Like, I actually think it's a thing. Got my eyebrows done, and of course, like, I got a burn on my skin right here. So now I need to basically cover that up, because if it does happen today, I don't want to freaking have this burn mark in my pictures forever, but like, maybe that's an omen that it's not going to happen today. But anyways, I do have to finish getting ready for work. I cannot spend my entire day dwelling on this, even though I want to very, 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 very much. So I'll see you guys a little bit later when my work day is done and I'm getting ready for our date in the hospital bathroom. Whether that date is our proposal or not, I don't know. I'm going to say it's not. Okay, I'll see you guys later. And then I went and I worked my entire day and it was fine. And I think it was like a crazy day at work actually. And I didn't get to finish all my notes, but I had to rush because I was seeing my last patient. I was running behind and I had to get changed. So now I'm in the hospital getting changed in the, exam room because I was in the clinic, but the clinic is in the hospital. And I also recorded myself at that time because I was like, again, like I still had this feeling that it might happen. Okay, I'm officially done with my work day. And it's time to get ready for my anniversary date. And I feel like this might be it. I don't know. I'm really excited. I'm really nervous. I was really nervous this morning at the idea of possibly being proposed to. And I've been freaking out all day. Get ready with me to maybe get engaged. Oh my God. So my boyfriend is waiting for me outside the hospital. The other day he told me he's actually going to wear a button-up shirt and dress shoes because the place that we're going to may not allow sneakers. So I'm like, what? Oh my gosh, my hair. I'm like, that means we must be going somewhere fancy. He has mentioned that he wanted like my family to be there for the proposal in the future. As far as I know, my family is not planning to join us today. Oh my God, my face is so red. And I also overheard his mom say that she would want to be here for the proposal too. Interestingly, my sister's location has been turned off, so I don't know if that means maybe she's picking up his family from the airport, but that would be really weird because my sister doesn't even know his family like that. But then again, maybe my mom's going with her. I haven't checked their location in a bit. I could be totally wrong because obviously a proposal on our anniversary is a little bit on the more obvious side of things. So maybe he wouldn't want to do it because it's more obvious. Like maybe he's going to do it in a few days instead of like actually on the day of. But I don't know because I have this like particular dress that I'm wearing. Hold on a second, I have to change. When I first ever bought this dress, I was like, I love how it fits me. And I said to myself, I think I want to be proposed to in this dress. And now I'm wearing this dress today. And what if I don't? I mean, if I don't, I still have really nice dresses, other dresses. But like, this is the one that I wanted to wear. So I'm wearing it because I think it might happen. But I'm also like, okay, I can't get my hopes up. I can't get myself too excited. Like, I know that I love him. I know that he's my person. But I've had such an identity my entire life of just being me and wanting an engagement, but not ever actually getting one. So I don't even know how to like react right now. I don't even know how to handle this. Like, how am I going to react if it happens? Am I going to cry? Am I going to not cry? Oh my God, I'm literally shitting my pants. We were just on the phone and he was being so normal. Like, you would think that if this was coming to happen soon, that he would be a little more obvious. But nope, he was not obvious at all. He was very, very, very just chill. But I'm like, are you kidding me? So that actually did throw me off because I was like, he's been so on it recently, talking about it so much, and now all of a sudden he's radio silent about it. I feel like if it were the night before he was going to actually do it, wouldn't he be more excited or more nervous, you know, or dropping a little bit of hints or something? But I guess not. if it doesn't happen today, I honestly would have no idea when it's gonna happen. Like around the holidays, maybe? I don't know. But I know it's coming. I wonder, like, if it happens today, is my family gonna be around? Is his family gonna be around? I don't even know. Like, do I want that? I'm like super close with my family. I don't know though, because I feel like when I get nervous, I kind of just get quiet and like stoic. I'm not a very out loud nervous person. I'm a very calm nervous person. A lot of people can't even tell that I'm nervous when I'm actively shitting my pants. All right, let's go get engaged. But I didn't know where we were going, and honestly, I felt so silly. Like, even the day before, I had gone and gotten my eyebrows done, and I got a cut on my eyebrow because the wax that they use actually like ripped my skin off, and I was freaking out because I was like, of course, like, I don't want to go into my, like, if it is my engagement, I don't want to have a freaking scar or cut on my eyebrow, you know, but if it's not, like, it doesn't really matter. So I was just losing my mind. I'm like remembering how much anxiety I was having that day, actually. Our anniversary was going to take place on the Wednesday, and the following Friday, I was going to go on vacation. So I had planned to get my nails done on the weekend before, so I would have them done for my anniversary and also for the vacation. But I was feeling a little bit on the lazy side. I had a lot of things going on. So I ended up telling my fiance, listen, I don't think I'm going to get my nails done for our anniversary. I'll just get them done on Friday before we go on vacation. And he kind of lost it. And I think that was my biggest clue to the fact that something was going to happen on that Wednesday. He told me, listen, you know, I didn't want to say this to you, but I suggest that you have your nails done for the next 2 months. And I think that you should have them done from the day of our anniversary because the 2 months starts on that day. And I was like, oh snap, like, oh shit. Oh my God, it's coming. Like, I'm going to get engaged within 2 months. But then I was also like, 2 months? Like, I don't want to wait 2 months. So I was messing with everybody. I was messing with my mom. I was messing with my sister. And my mom asked me, hey, like, did you get your nails done? Like, did you get your eyebrows done? Like, whatever. And I was like, no, I don't think I'm going to get them done until we go on vacation. Granted, I'd already had them done at this point. And she was like, no, like, you're a lady. You should have your nails done all the time. And I'm like, I'm a lady, but I'm also a doctor, and I barely ever have my nails done on a regular basis. Like, I have them done right now, but that's just a coincidence. So she said, you're messing with me, right? Are you messing with me? And so I sent her a picture of my nails, and they were done. And she was like, oh, those look really pretty. Like, I think those will look great for your trip. And I was like, thanks. But obviously, like, that was giving me a little bit of like, I think something's coming. Because it could have also, like, instead of being on the anniversary, he could have proposed the weekend before the trip. He could have proposed on our trip because he obviously was going with me. So I was like, something is definitely up. Anyways, fast forward. So now at the end of work day, I finally got myself dressed. We're running late because, of course, like, I finished work late and I'm stressed. So get downstairs. He looks amazing. He was wearing this beautiful powder blue suit. And we get in the Uber. So he calls the Uber, and now this is where it gets crazy. Gets in the Uber. Well, I get in the Uber first. He goes around, gets in the Uber, and then the Uber driver says, you're going to the River Cafe? Which, like, does an Uber driver ever say the exact name of the place you're going? Like, usually they'll say your name, or they'll say, are you going to Brooklyn? Or they'll say, are you going, like, to this location, New Jersey, Jersey City? No, he specifically said the exact name of the restaurant we were going to. And I didn't know where we were going up until that point. So the Uber driver spoiled it. And that place is important to me because that's where my parents got engaged. And I had told Mark Anthony, my fiance, that it would be a dream of mine to get engaged at the River Cafe. Not that I expected him to do it, but I was just, he had asked me, like, how would you like to be proposed? And I was like, well, here's how I would like to. Like, I would love for it to be at the River Cafe. And so when I found out we're going there, I was like, oh, shit. But so then I started to get like emotional, and at the same time my mind was racing because it was like the end of a clinic day, and I was still decompressing from racing through the day because I knew that we had this reservation, and I wanted to be ready, and I had to change my clothes and do my makeup. I was just like a mess mentally, and I get like emotional in the car, and then I'm like, suck it up, because what if it's not happening? Like, that would be so embarrassing, because he could have just been taking me there for our anniversary. Maybe he was going to take me there another time to propose to me, like maybe 6 months later or a year later, like who knows. So I was trying to keep myself together, and then while we were in the car, I said to him, hey, it's kind of cold in here, can I borrow your jacket? He was wearing a suit, right? And he said no. Like, what? He never says no to letting me like use his jacket or like putting his like arm around me or whatever. And it turned out it was because he had the ring in his jacket pocket and he didn't want me to feel it. So we get to the River Cafe, and I'm like, oh my God, is he going to do it now? Is it going to happen now? Like, as we're walking into the restaurant. And I'm like, I'm not ready. Like, I'm not mentally prepared because I'm still decompressing from the workday. Then we go out onto this like, we go in, we tell them we have a reservation. We go outside onto this like terrace that they had, and we're looking outside at the city. Granted, that day was like really cloudy and it was like supposed to rain, but it thankfully didn't rain. And I'm like, oh my God, is he gonna do it now? It was only the two of us on the terrace. And I was like, I'm still not ready. Like this is not how I want to feel when I'm getting engaged. Like, I want to feel fully present in the moment. And at that point in time, I was still like, everything from work, like there's this feeling that you get when you get out of the hospital, when you get out of the clinic, that you're almost like numb for a little bit, that you need to let your body like reform its thoughts or just like redirect its thought process. And I didn't have the opportunity to do that because I came literally from work, rushing, got into this Uber, and like all this information happened, and then we got to the restaurant. Thankfully, it did not happen on the terrace. So then we go into the restaurant, we get our seats. He had ordered us a beautiful flower arrangement for the table. They came over and gave us a glass of champagne. It was beautiful. It was so picturesque. You know, the windows, you look across and you see the city, and it was just really, really nice. And then it ends up being like a multi-course dinner, and it was like a culinary experience, and everything was so good. Oh my gosh. So it's like course after course after course, and we're just talking, and we're talking about our relationship. And you know, every anniversary or every month anniversary, I'll say to him like, hey, so how do you think it's going? You know, here's our check-in, anything that you want to change, anything that you like that you want to keep the same. And we kind of like touch base like that every month. So that was what we were doing. And it was like, that was normal. But he was saying like the sweetest things to me, like the most beautiful statements ever. And I was like, but he's not on a knee. And also the way he's sitting was like, we're sitting against a wall. So he's like sitting against the wall. I'm sitting in the open area where if he were going to propose, he would have to get up out of his seat and come around and then stand on my side to get on one knee. And I just didn't see that happening. So I was like, is it not going to happen today? You know, I would go to the bathroom and it would be like course number like 5. And I'd be like, I guess it's not happening. Well, finally the meal ends and we end up going for a walk by the water, because we're in Dumbo. Like, of course you're going to go for a walk by the water. Little did I know that the entire time that we were eating, my family and his family were setting up this beautiful heart made of rose petals and candles on the promenade under the Brooklyn Bridge there in Dumbo outside the restaurant. And so he's like, let's go for a walk. So we start walking and he takes me along this cobblestone street. And I'm wearing heels, and I'm like, can we walk, like, not on the cobblestones? And he's like, no, like, just come with me, like, trust me, I've never steered you wrong before. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's true. And so we turn the corner, and now we're underneath the Brooklyn Bridge, and we see people taking pictures, and there's this beautiful heart made of rose petals and candles. And I was like, oh, wow, look at that. And he's like, let's go check it out. Now, granted, you might think, okay, obviously the jig is up. This is it. Hello. But no, we had actually been on this promenade in Hoboken like a couple of weeks earlier, and there was a proposal happening there. And he noticed it before I did. It was these gorgeous like marquee letters that said, marry me. And he was like, babe, I can't wait to propose to you. I can't wait to get engaged to you. But I need you to know this is not me. And as we're walking up, we see the letters, and I was like, oh my God, that is so funny. Like, thank God that you said that it's not you, right? Because imagine if you're expecting to be proposed to and it's like not for you. So we're there in the promenade, and there's that little heart there, right? So we go and walk towards it. He's like, let's go check it out. I'm like, okay, we'll go check it out. Just like we went to go check out the marquee letters from the other time. So we go ahead. We're getting up to where the heart is. And he says, you know, I love you, right? And that's when my heart fell into my butt, because I was like, oh my God, this is happening. So then we get to the heart, and he's like, let's go in. And I'm like, oh my God. And he's like, this is for us. And I'm like, well, if this is for us, then I need to stand this way because the wind is blowing and my hair is going to be in my face. And he's like, okay, no problem. So we go into the heart. He says a bunch of sweet words that I do not remember anything that he said. I do remember feeling really giddy and laughing and just like responding a little bit to what he was saying and being like, yeah, and like stuff like that. And him being like, shh, let me finish. And then he started to go down on one knee, but he's played games with me like that before, where he'll like go slightly down on one knee while we're like brushing our teeth or something like that. And so it didn't feel fully real until he got down fully on the knee. And then I was like, oh my God, this is really happening. And I was screaming. And then he opened the box and I saw the ring and I was like, oh my God, it's so sparkly. And I was so happy and excited. And I was like, oh my God, I can't take too long to answer. And I said, yes. And then from out of nowhere came our families running around the corner to come and congratulate us and hug us. And we went to go eat, and it was amazing. So we already had eaten, but we went to go to like a restaurant where they could eat a little something, and we just all celebrated together and had a few drinks. And it was such a great experience. It was the best proposal I have ever had in my entire life, obviously. I mean, it was the best proposal I could have asked for. It was perfect. So after all of that, then we came home, and what I didn't know was that everybody had come to my apartment and decorated it with beautiful, like, these balloons and some other decorations, and I'll show you a little clip of that. Oh my God, wow, what in the world?
Turn on some lights.
Babe, oh my gosh. Oh my God.
Here, take the flowers.
Oh my God, there's so many roses everywhere. I love it. Is this from you?
That's from me, yeah.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God, I love it. Oh, look at this. We got, with our glasses from the Renaissance Fair. We have a gift.
Yep.
We have so many cards.
Me more. I actually would love for you to open up the gift real quick.
Right now?
That's from my mom. I'm not sure what's in the cards, but I know what's in the bag.
Okay, well, I'm going to read the card first then, yeah?
Yeah, go ahead.
It says, happy engagement. Look at that. Oh my God, we're engaged. Yo. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. So we wish you lots of love, laughter, and happiness as you start your lives together. Love, Mom, Dad, and Joshua. Mark and Julia, we are so happy to be celebrating your love tonight. Your faces light up when you're around each other, and we love how you look at each other. You are true soulmates.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's true. Nobody can say otherwise, okay? Okay, I'm gonna open this, yeah?
Yep.
Oh my God, this is amazing! Our engagement, we have so many pictures now, we have to put them in. Oh my God, I love this. Okay, that's gonna be a coffee table book
100%.
for our future house / apartment. Is this it? Is that it?
There's one more thing in there, I think.
Okay. What is this? Oh, an engagement journal. Oh my gosh, this journal is a combination of love story and wedding planning. With simple guided questions, it will help you capture all the sweetest memories leading up to your wedding day. Oh my God, we're gonna have a wedding day. Wow, that's so cool.
Come here.
I can't even think about this. We're gonna get married one day. But it was an amazing night and such a fun way to start our lives together as fiancés. So now I'm super excited to like go forward, and I'm gonna like get, my fiance's perspective for you guys.
Hi guys, you've seen me in previous videos before, but I want to formally introduce myself. My name is Mark Anthony, and I am Julia, or as you guys know her as Dr. T's fiance. We are fully kicking off the wedding planning cycle, and I wanted to share the one piece of the story that she wasn't involved with, which was the engagement. Before we dive into it, I'm sure that the one question that you have regarding asking us or even asking yourself is like, how do you know that this person is it? What one moment told you that this person was the person that you wanted to marry? And honestly, there really was no one moment when it came to Julia. I racked my brain well before I started recording this. I was like, was there a moment? And to be honest, it was just a feeling. While there wasn't that one moment, like being with Julia, I have never felt such happiness, such comfort, such love with any other person before. And I knew in my heart of hearts that this was my person. This person makes me complete. So while there was no one moment, one day where it just light bulb clicked, it was more along the lines of I woke up one day and knew for a fact that this feeling, this person only comes around once in a lifetime, and I would be an absolute fool to let it slip by. And I knew that I wanted to grow old with Julia and marry her. But anyways, diving into the actual story. Both her and I are very close to our families, and I would be remiss if I didn't start the entire engagement process without getting her father's blessing. And I'm very thankful that her family has welcomed me with open arms and hearts, and I adore and love them each dearly. And I knew exactly that it couldn't just be just a quick little like, hey, off to the side, can I marry your daughter? No, I want to do at least something a little special. So I ended up asking her dad at one of her dad's favorite places in the world, Yankee Stadium. Now, the Yankees didn't win that day, but there was a moment where I was able to get some one-on-one time with him, and I ended up pulling him to the side, telling him, I was like, hey, listen, I love your daughter with all my heart. I gave him my whole spiel, and I ended up asking for his blessing, and he gave it to me. And eventually, we brought in her mom, and her mom gave me her blessing as well. And with both blessings in order, and them being fully supportive of me and Julia's union, I knew full speed ahead. And from there, I made an appointment with a really gorgeous little ring shop close to my office, and it worked out perfectly. She had the afternoon free, and I took her there, surprised her, told her we're getting sushi. So when she pulled up to a jewelry store and realized this isn't a sushi place, and I told her, it's like, listen, I told you I wasn't going to start this process until I got your dad's blessing. I got it. I got some appointment in the next few minutes. Let's head in. And she was in absolute shock. I'm glad we were in there for a full hour or so, because the first half hours was, I'd never seen her so quiet before. She was taking it all in. She was stunned, shocked, and just absolutely beside herself that this was actually happening to her. But the attendant, the sales rep at the jewelry store was an absolute dream. Like, she was so nice attending. She poured us Prosecco to celebrate. And we just had an amazing experience with her and at that store. That's the store that I ended up buying the ring from. Now, we went to a few other places in the Diamond District as well in New York City, which is the only thing I'll say with the Diamond District is very overwhelming. But we ended up going back and figuring out exactly the type of ring she was looking for. And I told her, I was like, all right, I have your wish list. I'm taking it from here. And my favorite ring ended up being her favorite ring as well. So it worked out for the best when I ended up finally presenting it. And in regards to actually planning the moment it happened, that one I knew for a while how I was going to do it. But I didn't realize till the summertime that the day would line up perfectly. Our anniversary, September 18th, fell on a Wednesday. And a Wednesday was also the same day of the week that we first met. And we always have a bit of an inside joke saying, our lives changed forever based off one random Wednesday. So seeing that our anniversary, our 1 year anniversary fell on a Wednesday as well, I knew it was fate. So I had a reservation booked probably like 2-3 months in advance once I kind of realized it in anticipation at the River Cafe in Brooklyn. And if you haven't heard of it, haven't been to it, highly recommend. Wonderful experience right on the water. And it was just absolutely magical. But the main reason why I picked it, other than it being just gorgeous, was it's the place that her parents got engaged. And I knew I had to keep the fact that we were going there under wraps as best as possible. So as we're getting closer to the day, I'm scoping out the location, I'm going in the restaurant, I'm talking with the people, seeing the options we have, and proposing within the restaurant gave some limitations. So there was a deck. I was thinking about proposing alongside like the balcony, right along the waterfront as a sunset. But as we got closer, I was seeing on the weather that it was going to be downpouring, which I was beside myself. I was kind of watching the weather, seeing it not change. Oh, now it wasn't raining, back and forth, until it finally got to the point where I was like, all right, it's raining. I need a backup plan. What can I do? I end up going to the same area just to see what I can do in the general vicinity. Luckily enough, it was right next to the Brooklyn Bridge, and there's a gorgeous little walkway there, and right underneath the bridge, there's almost like a little bit of like a private walkway area, like off to the side, not like on a main path. It's at the end of the path. And I saw it as soon as I turned the corner. I was like, this is the place. I ended up ordering like some rose petals, some candles, a tent just in case it downpoured, and I positioned it perfectly, the place in mind for me under the bridge just for added protection. And I have to give a shout out to Julie's parents, and especially Julie's sister, who were absolutely amazing in the lead up and the day of the process in setting everything up and helping. And my parents helped as well. They flew in from Myrtle Beach where they're living, and it was just like my heart was full of happiness and just appreciation for all of the help they did in making this moment special. So day of, she still has no idea we're celebrating our anniversary. I told her to wear something nice. I had a little suit planned that she did not see yet until that moment. So the whole time I took off, I picked my parents up from the airport. She's at work. I took them over to her apartment, met her parents. We all had hugs, and then we decorated her apartment with this apartment here actually, with a bunch of balloons, decorations, signs, just something magical for us to come back to later. And then from there, I said my goodbyes, and I hightailed it to meet Julie outside work, because from there we're going to go directly to the restaurant to make our reservation time. In the meantime, they were getting settled, and then they followed us. So the plan was, as we were eating, they were going to get everything set up, and it worked out perfectly. While it wasn't as sunny as like we could have wanted ideally, it didn't rain. It was a bit windy, but all in all, the weather conditions were perfect. And everything happened for a reason, because at the end of the night, I realized that was the place to be. But getting ahead of myself again, I took Julia to the restaurant. The Uber driver let it slip that's exactly where we're going, which never forgave him for. I wanted to at least wait till we got out there for her to kind of like have it sink in, but that's another story. So we finally get in. We have a wonderful meal. We're essentially having an amazing, wonderful date night, And I know in the back of her head, she's thinking, is he going to pop the question? But little does she know, not until after dinner. So the whole time she's like, is he, isn't he, yada, yada, yada. We finally wrap up. And I was giving them discreet texts like, hey, we're on our way, go hide. And we slowly walk over. It's about like a 60, 90-second walk from the entrance to the restaurant to where the proposal site was. And walk over there. It's all set up. It's lit. It's nighttime at this point. The candles are glowing. It's just like a wonderful, wonderful location. And I looked at her. I was like, oh, let's go check that out. You know, discreetly. We get over there, put the stuff down, and I look at her. I was like, this is for us. Come with me. And I think that's when it fully sank on her face, because I can just see it. She was barely able to even process a thought, but she was so happy. And we got inside the little heart that was arranged. Thank you, Jess, for setting it up again. I found out later on that she had double-sided tape where she taped it on so it was perfect. So even with the roaring winds we had, it wasn't visible at all. So we got inside the heart and I proposed. She said yes, and it was just a magical experience. And I just cannot wait for our wedding date to happen. I'm trying to really soak it all in and enjoy each moment as they pass. But we know the true goal, and I speak for both Julie and myself and say that we cannot wait.
I am just like so excited to start planning everything and just like have the best wedding experience, but I also really want to enjoy this fiance engagement experience too. Oh my gosh, like I am so obsessed with my ring. I love looking at it every single day. It's amazing. And yeah, I'm just so happy. So anyways, now I have a few months left in my third year of residency. My fiance has moved in with me into my studio apartment, which I got through my residency program ever since the program merged. And so it's been an interesting experience living together for the first time, living together in a studio apartment, and trying to make everything work. Overall, it's been a great experience. So thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to share, more information about like wedding planning stuff and just life in general in New York and going on into attending Hood. So like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye.